quitting smoking or vaping, because tobacco and vaping produce oxidative stress in the skin. They narrow the capillaries, they reduce collagen synthesis, and deepen your wrinkles. So quitting is one of the fastest visible improvements that you can make. Hello, everybody. It is Kris Gethin here, and welcome back to the Kris Gethin Podcast. Today is a deep, power-packed episode because it's all about how to look 10 years younger. So this is going to be a practical kind of biohacker's guide that you can do to make yourself look younger. Of course, you know, I take my biological age every year. I've been able to reduce my biological age, and that is internally. But what is the largest organ that we have? It's not our heart, it's not our kidney, it's not our liver. These are all very important things, but it's our skin. So I think of it, people may think, okay, it's very vain, it's vanity driven, but it does increase your confidence. If you look in the mirror, and even though I'm like 51 years old, and I think, okay, I am looking as young as I feel, of course, it's going to give you more confidence. And I think to a certain degree, it can actually help you reverse your biological age, because if what you see in a mirror looks younger, you're going to think younger, you're going to act younger, you're going to have that purpose driven of a younger person that could invite the university to tell you that you are younger and you'll look younger. So it's like a beautiful circle, okay? But we're going to walk through lifestyle steps, devices, peptide strategies that could be both topical and oral, injectable, antioxidants, NAD, sun protection, hydration, absolutely everything. But before we do begin, I'm not a physician. Injectable peptides or advanced NAD therapies could or should be supervised by a qualified clinician, okay? But treat this as a well-researched blueprint that you can discuss with your providers. So let's get started. So the foundations. Let's talk about why skin ages and what you can do to, reverse and control that. So let's begin with the biology of aging skin, because when you understand what's going wrong, you'll know exactly what levers to pull. So over time, collagen and elastin fibers in the dermis degrade. Enzymes called MMPs accelerate the breakdown. Now, I was in college in the mid-90s, and I actually did facials. So as part of my sports therapy qualifications, I did massage, I did facials, I did skin treatments. That could be audio wave, audio sound. I did all sorts. And then I did it for about 8 months on a cruise liner. So I really had to study about the skin, the dermic layer, below the epidermic layer for massage as well. But one of the things that I've noticed that really, really does accelerate the age of the skin is extreme glycation. An extreme amount of sugars or excess sugars can lead to glycation. So if you're wondering why you are possibly looking older than what you are, maybe you've been eating too many sugars or too much sugars, because advanced glycation end products, which are AGEs, you may have heard me talk about AGEs, cross-link collagen, making it very stiff and dull. And then you've got oxidative stress and inflammation, possibly from UV, possibly from pollutants, smoking, processed fats, vegetable oils. They all damage the skin cells and the extra cellular matrix. So with age, cellular energy, especially NAD, decline, undermining repair and the maintenance capacity. And then we've got senescent cells, which are those zombie-like cells in our body. The skin secretes these inflammatory markers that degrade the surrounding tissues. So our roadmap is reduce damage, boost repair signaling, and optimize our environment and supply the building blocks, i.e. like collagen. So let's put that roadmap together so that you've got lifestyle levers as well that move the needle. So you cannot really look younger if your skin is constantly battling UV, especially at the middle part of the day. So get in sunrise, get in sunset, where you get those restorative red frequencies are absolutely fine. But during the middle of the day, you're going to be exposed to a lot of, the harsh artificial blue spectrum. Not only do you get it inside, you get it outside, you get it inside as well. We're exposed to heating elements during the winter. We're exposed to air conditioning elements during the summer. So I will always wear an SPF at home as well. Would you believe it? If I am in an environment where I am, let's say I'm in airports, I'm in a hotel, I'm on an airplane, I'm in a city, then I'm going to use a different SPF, and that is from Young Goose. And the reason why I don't use Young Goose every single day is because it's quite expensive. It's not cheap. So I'll use a natural that doesn't have any phthalates, doesn't have talc. I'll use a natural SPF pretty much every day. But then when I'm traveling, I'm in a city, I will wear Young Goose. So that is a zinc oxide based with clean ingredients. And it is proven to actually protect your skin from the harmful non-native EMFs and Wi-Fi. Okay, so you can apply it in the morning, maybe reapply, dependent, if you're sweating, perspiring, etc. And another one is quitting smoking or vaping, because tobacco and vaping produce oxidative stress in the skin. They narrow the capillaries, they reduce collagen synthesis and deepen your wrinkles. So quitting is one of the fastest visible improvements that you can make. And then eliminate or drastically reduce alcohol, because alcohol accelerates dehydration and inflammation and can cause facial puffiness or loss of skin tone over time. So for skin integrity in youth, try to limit your alcohol intake. And then, as I mentioned earlier, cut refined sugars or any ultra-processed foods and carbohydrates, because sugar is perhaps the single worst food choice for aging skin, because it feeds glycation, inflammation, and oxidative damage. So reducing sugar or eliminating it really helps prevent collagen damage and preserves that subtle elastin in the skin. And then, I'm always talking about vegetable oils, but avoid repeatedly heated and rancid vegetable oils. So favor stable antioxidant-rich oils like olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, grass-fed butter in moderation. These oils are less prone to oxidation, and they support skin by providing healthy lipids and fat-soluble antioxidants. And then we got hydration. So drink, but also topical when it comes to hydrating your skin. So you want to drink adequately. Aim to keep your body in good hydration, not overdoing water to the point of flushing, your electrolytes, but avoid chronic underhydration. An easy practice is to carry like a meathead gallon jug with you. Drink your ElectroShred, for instance, your electrolytes. That have your mineral salts in there rather than just pure water, especially if you sweat or live in dry or humid climates. So I always have a gallon jug with me. I'll have 3 to 4 scoops of ElectroShred from my brand Unmatched. The reason being is because it has a high amount of electrolytes, but it also is naturally sweetened. You want to stay away from any artificial sweeteners at this time as well. So also support your skin hydration topically. So Humedics, you have your hyaluronic acid, you have glycerin, but internal hydration gives your skin the substrate and flow. And then let's talk about stress. We know that stress is the biggest killer and biggest contributor for heart disease, but it contributes to the aging of your skin as well. So, sleep deeply and consistently, skin repair and barrier restoration and collagen renewal happen at night. So you want to manage your stress because cortisol elevates your inflammation and breaks down collagen. So whatever you can do, manage your stress. Of course, we're exposed to artificial light all the time. That's another thing. So you want to try to stay away from that artificial light a good hour before bed, if possible. I have these incandescent bulbs in my house. You don't have to go that far, but try to dim the lights a little bit. And then exercise improves your circulation and delivers nutrients to the skin. So oxygen-rich blood and nutrient-rich blood. So that is like the system of health that your skin leans on. And then one trick many people overlook is getting sunlight exposure early in the day, like 10 to 15 minutes help. It anchors your circadian rhythm and indirectly supports skin health by optimizing hormone cycles, repair, and your NAD cycles. If you cannot get exposure to the sun, then the next bit is talking about red light therapy. So now we're going to step into leveraging tools that you can use at home or in a clinic that speed those visible results if you don't have the ability to get exposure to sunlight, because you may be like me, you get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, it's still dark, you're not likely to get outside then, and then all of a sudden you start work. So what I use is red light therapy or photobiomodulation. So I use something called red light rising. Those are the large panels. When I'm traveling, which I fly to Vegas tomorrow, I will have the LumaFlex. So the red light, and this is between like 630 and 660 nanometers, and near infrared, which is between 800 and 850, I believe, nanometers. Those light spectrums stimulate mitochondrial activity. They increase ATP, hydrogen triphosphate. They generate mild signaling of reactive oxygen species and upregulate the fibroblasts for collagen production. And clinical trials have shown reductions in wrinkle depth, improved skin texture, and enhanced elasticity when used consistently. So the protocol that I suggest is like 2 to 4 sessions a week. I personally do it about five times a week. And I do it for about 10 to 20 minutes, dependent on the time that I've got available to me. If I do have the time available to me, I'm going to do 20 minutes. If not, I'm going to do 10. Okay. But you could drop it then. Let's say you do it for 5 days a week, for like 10 weeks. You could then drop it down to like 1 to 3 sessions a week for maintenance. But make sure that your device is calibrated and it does have the right nanometers and it doesn't overheat. So another thing as well is damage to the skin. So you may have heard of microneedling. It stimulates, controlled micro injury, which triggers wound healing. Now, I use, like I mentioned, Young Goose. I'll use like their SPF, and I've heard the owners speak about the importance of microneedling. However, they do not suggest using a roller. They actually suggest using a stamp and not going too deep to the extent that you're really damaging your skin and you're bleeding, okay? You can also combine stem cells or even topical growth factors to enhance that response. I have had stem cells injected into my face at one point. This is going back some years ago. That's not going to make you look younger. It actually prevents the onset of aging, because stem cells, we have billions of them as we're younger, and those numbers go down as we get a little bit older. And then we've got sauna and heat therapy. I use sauna all the time. Try to do it, 5 days a week, because that again elevates circulation. It triggers what's called heat shock proteins, okay, and promotes systemic resilience. So those heat shock proteins can repair damaged or folded proteins, and the skin benefits from include nutrients and oxygen delivery as well as detoxification. Okay, so it could enhance repair signaling, but these pores are open. Maybe, they do get clogged, they get blocked up. Now you're actually, detoxifying through your skin. So, I always try to use contrast. So I'll do cold straight after, but always hydrate before and after your sauna. That's very, very important as well. And then the cold exposure does reduce inflammation. It can reduce puffiness or swelling, but it's more of a supportive rather than primary, okay? And then, combining these modalities, which a powerful stack is the red light, microneedling, and topical peptides, spaced appropriately, of course. Now, the one thing that I really, really like, and you've probably heard me talk about this before, is GHK-Cu. It's a copper peptide, and that's among the most studied skin peptides. It stimulates collagen synthesis, wound healing, helps improve firmness, elasticity, and texture. Use a well-formulated serum or cream nightly, definitely, or non-retinide nights, if you are going to use it in the evening. You could pair it with microneedling like once a week or something, or after red light therapy. But I just love using it at any time. I'll use it every day. GHK-Cu. You want to try to get a formula. If it's your body, probably about 70%, 7% GHK. If it's for your face or your eyes, you want to probably be looking about 3%. I like to use more of a serum around the eyes, and I like to use a cream over the face. And then you've got Snap 8. So this is a signal peptides. It's marketed as a surface neuropeptide, and it modulates small muscle movement to reduce fine lines. So use an anti-wrinkle serum, combine it with the signal peptides, which are basically called the matrix family, to encourage that collagen synthesis. And then you've got oral collagen peptides. So, for instance, I have coffee every day, but I'll usually have decaffeinated coffee, and I'll have like about 20 to 30 grams of collagen, vanilla flavored collagen, because that acts like my milk, and I have that every single day. So I think that there's a place for that as well. So I absolutely love GHK-Cu. Give that a go. And then you want to look towards your antioxidants and NAD. So I go very, very high with my antioxidants, knowing that I'm going through a lot of free radical damage through my workouts, through pollutants, through artificial light, through air conditioning, through traveling through different time zones, etc. So I want to make sure that I'm getting very high antioxidants from different sources. So I will use glutathione. So there's a product called Cell Shield from BioLongevity Labs. It has your glutathione, it has your resveratrol, it has your vitamin C, liposomal vitamin C, and it's your body's master intracellular antioxidants. So you can use oral glutathione to help reduce that oxidative stress. It supports detoxification and can improve your skin tone by reducing the pigment irregularities as well. So I do that every single day. And it is very important that you pair it with vitamin C, which Cell Shield already has. By the way, if I'm talking about anything today, I will put the links in the show notes with the discount codes as well, okay? If there is a discount code available to me, okay? Most of them are. And then one of my other favorites is ESS60 by My Vital C. So this is a carbon C60, a Nobel-winning atom, but the ESS60 from My Vital C is a human grade version, and it's a potent antioxidant, and it's highly active in the capacity that it neutralizes free radicals that drive oxidative aging. So I use it every single day. I use it in the morning in my coffee with my collagen, and I'll use the coconut oil carrier. In the evening, I generally use the olive oil carrier. Okay, so I like to do that, and that fat that it's in supports your absorption. And because oxidative stress is one of the primary drivers of skin aging, ESS60 helps protect your collagen, your DNA, and your cellular membranes. And then NAD. NAD is essential for cellular metabolism, DNA repair, sirtuin activation. So in the skin, NAD supports repair pathways and resilience against UV and oxidative stress. Some clinicians use IV infusions. I prefer to actually use the oral, so I use the capsule. Of course, you could do an injectable sub-Q as well, but I like to, have the oral every single day. It's NAD3 from Biostack Labs. It's called NAD Regen, but NAD3 is the actual ingredient. So it doesn't just support your NAD, it actually targets the root cause of NAD decline as well. Okay. But there's other ways that you can support NAD as well, through like intermittent fasting, a circadian rhythm alignment, making sure that you sleep in the same time every night, and obviously a clean metabolic environment. And one of the things that I've been using from different forms is hydrogen as well. So I have hydrogen tablets every day. I drink them. I had hydrogen tablets in my bath. I just did so earlier. I actually have hydrogen in my bath, in my ice bath, my Morozco ice bath. And I also inhale hydrogen. I have a hydrogen machine as well, because I think it's that important, because it has selective antioxidant properties that scavenge hydroxyl radicals and modulate signaling pathways. Some early human and skin studies show benefits in reducing oxidative stress and improves the skin hydration and reduces pigmentation. Okay, so I like that. That's one of the reasons why I like it. But of course, it's great internally for your organs and for your performance as well. But I think that is it. So going back to ESS60, actually, they do have a skin product that has GHK. So I do actually use that with their serum, the C60 serum. So I do that morning as well and night. So I really, really like that. But again, if you have any questions about any particular products I'm using, please send me a message. But I'm going to send links as well. But let's kind of go through a protocol, see if I can remember this as well. So morning, I'd say use a cleanser, use your GHK, use your SPF from like Young Goose, the cup of coffee with like collagen powder or vanilla collagen powder. You don't have to have it in your coffee. And then make sure that you add your C60 to it. Make sure that you hydrate, have plenty of electroshreds, so electrolytes, a sunlight exposure or red light. And again, like in the evening, make sure that you cleanse again. I like to use the peptide serums even more, like the GHK, the Snap 8. And also, the red light therapy, sauna, microneedling. You could actually do injectable peptides if you wanted, like the GHK-Cu. I don't necessarily. I use it if I've got an injury or inflammation. And then, take your glutathione, your ESS60, support your NAD through supplementation, through fasting, through exercise. Make sure that you sleep well and avoid alcohol or smoking or sugar and vegetable oils. Okay. So you could do this, take baseline photos, do it over 12 weeks and get back to me. Let me know if I'm on the right track, because it's definitely worked for me and it's definitely worked for many of my clients. But if you did like this podcast, please do subscribe. Please do share it with others. And again, everything that I spoke about today, we'll put in the show notes with some links. And until next week, this is a Kris Gethin podcast, and we are out.